Krista Kitsune here, and I hope that you guys had a good Easter. When you're watching this, it's probably Monday, so you're probably back to school if you're young enough to be going to school. Spring break is over, no more fun stuff. But that doesn't mean the fun has to stop. That's just because Easter and spring break is over doesn't mean that the fun has to go away and you don't have to feel sad because you have to go back to school or whatever. But anyway, I thought that I would play some more Agario to cheer you guys up because some people seem to like this game and it's fun. So I'm going to play a couple minutes of it. Let me get my timer here on my phone so I know how many minutes it is because I don't really want to go over too far. Let me see if I can find the stupid thing. Clock. My phone is so jumbled with all this stuff, so I can't really find what I'm looking for. Ah, there it is. The logo for it is really weird. No, I don't want the alarm. There. Okay, we're gonna start now. I'm gonna prop this up somewhere so I can actually see it. And I also have a special guest. The special guest that I have is not Pookers, but you probably hear the sound of something walking around. And this is Lavender. I showed you Lavender once before in the video of me walking around my room, and this is Lavender, the English budgie. The reason why she looks kind of puffy is because she's scared a little bit because she's not used to being out here in the pool room, my recording room. Also, she's also in the middle of her season. You're gonna poop? Usually you poop when you do that. No poop? Alright. She's in the middle of her mating season, so that's why her bottom looks like really big. Is because it's her making space for eggs if she ever has any. But she hasn't had any. She doesn't take care of herself well enough to have eggs. So I thought I'd bring her out. And yes, she's huge. This is not just like the trick of the camera. English budgies are actually about twice the size of a regular parakeet. And they also fluff out a lot, and they look bigger because of their fluff. And she looks like she's pissed off. She looks like she's constantly pissed off because of the feathers here on her head that cover her eyes, and so she looks like she's pissed off. So she's going to sit up here, hopefully for the whole video. And I'll probably have a big shit stain on my shoulder. But either way, hopefully you stay there. You stay there and you don't hurt me. Okay? She's probably going to just go sit on my head. There she goes. She's going on my head. So I'm going to start playing Agario. You're not going to go on my head? No? No? Oh, also I want to mention, if you guys watched the video of me making slime for Easter, I made the slime and I put it in a container. And when I got the slime put in this container, it took up most of the container. It was basically filled up to the top. Now, this is what it looks like after playing with it for 2 days. The day that I made it and today. It looks like rubber, and it just, the more you play with it, the more that it kind of shrinks, I guess. So if you want to keep a nice big, size thing, make a lot more than what we made in the video. So that was just a thing I wanted to let you know in case you guys made the same thing. A lot of people make the stuff for the videos and don't keep it, I guess. But anyway, we're going to stop talking about parakeets and slime, and we're going to go ahead and start playing Agario. Now, I'm to level 15. I'm almost to level 16. I'm going to go ahead and play this. Hopefully I don't have connection problems out here, which it looks like I'm stuttering a little bit because I'm all the way out here, outside in the pool room, and it's giving me issues. If I come out here and do anything that involves the internet, it usually starts stuttering and lagging a little bit. So hopefully it won't do that too much. Come on. This is going to be a very fun episode for everybody just to watch. If I can't even move enough to get big enough to eat other people. Maybe I'll flatten itself out or something. I think the connection problem is just poor back here because I'm like really far away from the router, even further away than my bedroom, which is where I take my laptop sometimes. So hopefully this won't hinder me too much. If that's if this turns out to be a problem, I'll just keep talking about lavender or something. But either way, like I said, I hope you guys had a good Easter. Hope you guys, if you went to see family, I hope it was an enjoyable holiday for you. I know sometimes it's like a religious thing when people go see family, so I'm stuck here. I'm like frozen right now, so I don't know what's going on. I should just kind of like stop doing internet related things back here, and I'm dead. So I don't really celebrate Easter as a, holiday, religious or otherwise. I mean, usually you dress up in your finest clothing, and then you go to church, and then you go back home, have a meal, and then you do like the Easter egg hunting thing. Yeah, this isn't gonna work, so I'm just gonna like leave it on this screen for right now. Oh, sorry. I don't even know if that was showing up. Was it showing up? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I just totally forgot you can't dock it. So, yeah, that's not going to work because the internet back here is really crappy. So, no Games of Agar.io unless I do it in the living room, which is closer to the router. But, so yeah, this is Lavender. I got her as a present, sort of. I had to pay half of price from her. Me and my friend went to a bird's shop here in California, not too far away from my house. It has like a lot of birds. They have like exotic birds. They have not so exotic birds. Their mascot is a scarlet macaw named Trouble, I think his name is. But it's the bird shop. If you live in Sacramento area, you probably know of it. But we went there, and she was getting some stuff for her parakeets, because she has almost as many as parakeets as I have, males and females. I don't know how many of each, but she has an English budgie like this, but she didn't get hers until later. But I saw her at the pet store, and she was really unusual because parakeets don't normally come in this color. Parakeets are usually like blue or white or yellow and green or something like that. So seeing this one be purple was like mind-blowing, It was like, oh my god, I didn't know parakeets come in that color, I mean, I guess if you breed certain kinds together or whatever, you might get like a purple-like color, which is more like purple blue or something. But it's usually dark, and it's usually not white and lavender. It's usually green or white and like a indigo type color, not lavender. So I saw her, and I really, really wanted her, but she was like $80. And she was like hand trained, because she was in the special section where they like hand train them or whatever, which is actually kind of a lie and truth, because they may hand train them, but to go on your hand and be tame and everything like that, but they're still scared shitless, because people are poking their hands in all the time, picking them up and scaring the crap out of them. So anyway, so I saw her, and I really, really wanted her, but I only had like $50 or something on me at the time, and I was like, I can't buy her because I don't have enough money. So my friend, who was like, it was almost my birthday, because it was like late July or something like that, and my birthday's in August, so she was all like, if you pay, what you have, I'll pay the rest of it. So we kind of went, Dutch treat on her, but I got to take her home. So this is was my birthday present a couple years ago, and later on she got one which is a blue and white one, and she named her Daphne. This one's name's Lavender because of her purple color, And she's kind of feisty. When I first got her, she could go on your finger, but she was really skittish and kind of, you know, didn't really want to be held or anything. So I was like, okay, well, I'll like let her, chill out in the bedroom and everything like that, and meet the others and everything. Well, first I had her alone because I wanted her to get used to being in my room, being around, the other parakeets I had, because at the time I had 4. I had River and Sky and Sunny and Snowy, and then I had then I got her. But I wanted her to get used to the room and everything like that, and then I put her in with the others, and they kind of didn't really like her to start with, but then later on they like slowly started to warm up to her. And what was funny is that I would take all of them out into the living room, and they would sit on the floor and like congregate together in a circle. And she was kind of left out to start with because, anytime she would come closer to them, she would go closer, and then they'd kind of like wander off because they didn't want to have anything to do with her. But it took a while, but they slowly kind of, warmed up to her, and they let her, be in their posse or whatever. So, they became friends. Snowy doesn't really like anybody. I mean, her and Sky didn't get along very well, but because they're two females. Sky was just mean overall. I mean, she didn't like anybody being near her after a while. And then she passed away last year, and her sickness came on really quick, and she died like later that night. But when the breeding season starts, when I don't want to breed the males and the females together, I usually separate the males and the females. And since I only have 2 females right now that are in breeding season, I have them separated, as I showed you in the one video. And they're together in the one cage, and they've bonded. They get really close to one another, and they'll sit there and, get really close and kind of be buddies together. Which is really cute because Snowy doesn't really like anybody, but she warmed up to this one really quick. But I want to breed her, but I can't. Mainly because she doesn't take care of herself. Snowy knows how to take care of herself. All the times that I've had babies in this house, and Snowy is the mother, she was eating her food and everything like that, but she was also munching on the Cuddle Bone, which gives them calcium, and she was munching on the Mineral Block, which gives them additional vitamins, which helps aid in the process of making hard-shelled eggs, so they're not really flimsy and the baby doesn't, end up dying inside of it. So when Snowy was doing all this, she was eating all this stuff and being healthy. When Lavender got knocked up by Sunny, which wasn't anything that I intended, it just happened. He got on top of her and started doing the nasty, and this one started laying eggs, but she wasn't eating the vitamins, she wasn't eating on the Cuddle Bone, so her eggs were flimsy and soft and didn't have anything in them anyway. So that was last year. This year, I purposely kept him away from the males because I didn't want that to happen again. Because sometimes females, when their eggs aren't formed properly, they'll get egg locked or whatever. I think that's what it's called, where the egg is like stuck inside them and they end up dying. So I didn't want that to happen to Lavender because she's like pretty rare and I wouldn't want her to die. So I kept her away from Sunny and all the other ones because now the other boys that I have are within the right age to be. They're a year old now, so they're ready to breed if they happen to be stuck with a female that was in breeding season. I could do like a whole segment about parakeets, I guess, if anybody was interested in it. There's like so many, like, not really tutorials, but sites and stuff that you can go to that talk about parakeets and their well-being and things that you need to know and, much more knowledgeable about them than I am. I mean, I've had them off and on for years, but most of the time when I had them when I was younger, and I wasn't like, they were just pets to me. They were just, companions that stayed in my room and were there for, me to play with. And I had a notorious, I was notorious for killing all my pets. Not like intentionally, not like a murderer or anything. It was just mostly like I kind of tormented them as a kid, which I bet like a lot of kids do, or when they're younger, because they don't know the boundaries of animals and stuff. So they're like, oh, they can play with me, and I'll treat them like this thing, and it will be fine. But then we find out that they can't, their bones are brittle or whatever. So I've kept these guys alive, except for Sky, who ended up getting sick and died. But that wasn't my fault. That wasn't negligent on my part. That was just her getting sick and her passing away. So, I mean, that's just life. I mean, things come into this world, they live, X amount of years, and then they die. Just like with my cat. So this was kind of a failed attempt at playing Agar.io. A lot of times when I come out here, the internet's fine, but for some reason tonight, the internet's being a piece of shit, so I can't really agar very well. But you gotta see Lavender anyway. You gotta see this big girl. And I'll get a close-up so you can see her better. Ooh. And see the cute little mean face that she's got going on. But it's been about 15 minutes or longer probably, and so hopefully you enjoyed meeting Lavender, and I hope you had a good Easter, and I will see all y'all in the next video. I'm not Southern, so I don't know why I keep saying y'all, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.